Hello and welcome to another Let's Draw tutorial with Procreate. This is the illustration we'll be completing today. I've created a brush set and colour palette for easy brush and colour picking. The link to those are in the description below. You will need a canvas size of 2000 by 2000 pixels at 300 dpi. And when you're ready, let's draw. Once you've created your canvas, we're going to go over to the colour palette. We're going to choose this colour here. We're going to choose our monoline brush, and on layer 1, and the size is at 5%, we're just going to zoom out a little bit. We're just going to make a swooping motion starting from the outside of the canvas here to the other side here. Then we'll be able to drag and drop our colour in. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go like this, and that's our first Dune. And then we're going to drag and drop that in. You can actually go to the magic wand tool and liquefy in push mode with distortion and momentum set to none, pressure set to max, and I've got the size at about 70. You can just push and pull and just make any adjustments to the shape of your Dune until you've got something like that. We are then going to create a new layer. And we are going to choose this colour here in the colour palette. Let's just clip and mask that layer. And then we are going to just draw in like an S shape. So something like this, and then close the shape. So then you can drag and drop the colour in. We are then going to make some adjustments on the brightness on the top of this sand dune here. We're going to do that by going to our S-shaped ribbon in freehand, and we're just going to do a shape like that. We're going to go to feather, and we're going to feather that out to around, let's say 25%. We're then going to go to our hue, saturation, brightness under our magic wand tool, and we're going to increase the brightness to around 67%. And then you can tap the S-shaped ribbon when you're done. We're then going to add some noise onto this layer by going to our magic wand tool. We're going to select noise. We're going to leave the default settings as they are. And then we're just going to slide our pencil to the right until we get to 8%. And then tap when you are done. We are then going to go to this layer here, the dark blue layer, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. We are going to go to our S-shaped ribbon in freehand. We're just going to draw a shape like that and close it. We are then going to feather, and we're going to go up to 25% or 26%, that's fine. And then we can go to our magic wand tool. We're going to select hue, saturation and brightness, and then increase the brightness to 65%. And then tap the S-shaped ribbon when you're done. Let's go ahead and add some noise here as well. So we're going to go to our magic wand tool. We're going to select noise. And then again, just slide over to the right with your pencil until you get to the 8% mark. And then tap the magic wand tool when you're done. We're then going to go back to our layers. We're going to swipe to the right and select these both layers. And then we're going to group them. Let's collapse the group. We are then going to duplicate. And then the bottom one with our arrow tool in uniform, we are just going to scale that down and then move it over to the right until you get something that looks like that. We are then going to create a new layer. We are going to drag that underneath. We're going to go to our colour palette. We're going to choose this top colour in the colour palette and then just drag and drop that onto our canvas. We are then going to create a new layer. We're going to go back to this colour here, and with our monoline brush set to 5%, we're just going to draw in a circle. Hold your pen in place. Tap one finger on the screen to make it a perfect circle. And then we can drag and drop the colour in. We're going to go to our arrow tool in uniform, pop on snap in, and then we're just going to move that over until you hit the orange line vertically. Move that up a little bit until you got something like that. We're then going to create a new layer. We're going to go to this bottom colour here, and with our monoline brush, we're just going to draw in a circle here, and then tap one finger on the screen to make it a perfect circle. We are then going to go to our arrow tool with uniform and snapping turned on. We're just going to pop it so it's in the centre of that light colour circle. And we're going to just use this one as a kind of reference. So we're just going to lower the opacity down to around 22%. Go back to layer 8. We're going to go to our S-shaped ribbon, and in freehand, we're just going to roughly follow that circle and then tap. We're going to go to feather, and then we're going to feather that out to around 25% or 26%, that's fine. Go to hue, saturation and brightness under your magic wand tool, and then we're going to increase that up to 67%, and then tap the X-shaped ribbon when you're done. We can now go back to this layer and delete it. We're going to add some noise onto this layer as well. So we are going to go to our magic wand tool, select noise. Again, leave these default settings as is. And then we're just going to slide to the right until you get to 8%. And then tap the magic wand tool when you are done. We are then going to create a new layer. We're going to go back to this colour here, and with our monoline brush still selected at 5%, we are going to draw in a circle. Hold your pen in place, tap one finger on the screen, and then we're going to move that into the centre like that. We're just going to make it a little bit smaller, and you want to position it like this. So you've got a running edge around the main sun that's even, and then tap the arrow when you're done. We're going to create a new layer. We're going to do the same thing. Hold your pen in place, tap one finger on the screen. Go to our arrow tool in uniform and snapping turned on, obviously. And then we can just make that a little bit smaller. And then you kind of want to get the distance the same. And then we're going to create a new layer. We're going to do it again. Create a circle, hold your pen in place, tap one finger on the screen. Go to our arrow tool, and then we're going to move that like that in that position. Tap the arrow when you're done, and we're going to do it one more time. We are going to draw in a circle, hold your pen in place, tap one finger on the screen, and we are then going to move it into the center and just scale it down if needed until you've got something like that. Let's make it a little bit bigger, just a smidge bigger. And so you've got something like that. And then on this layer, we're just going to reduce that down to 20%, the opacity. We're then going to go to this layer and then lower the opacity down to 40%. And then we're going to go to this one and lower the opacity down to 60%. Then this one, we're going to do it down to 80%. And then you can actually pinch those layers together. We are going to change the blending mode to add. And then we're going to go to our magic wand tool, and we're going to add some noise on these layers as well, on this layer as well. We're going to go to noise, and we're going to slide to the right. We're going to go a bit higher than the other ones that we've done. 60% will work. And then tap the magic wand tool when you're done. We are then going to go to the top layer here, this top group, and create a new layer. We're going to choose this bottom colour here. We are then going to go to our stamp set, and we're going to choose man with the long coat. And I've got the size here at around 5%, and we're just going to tap on the screen. We're going to go to our arrow tool in uniform, and then just kind of move him over so he's kind of standing on top of the sand dune, but we just make sure that he's not kind of floating up there. So we just need to move him down a little bit until you've got something like that. We are then going to this group here, and we're going to open it. Go to layer 2 and create a new layer. We are then going to clip and mask it. And with that same colour selected, but we're going to use the monoline brush, we're just going to draw in an oval and then drag and drop that colour in. We're going to go to our magic wand tool. We're going to go to motion blur. And then we're just going to slide our pen diagonally from the right to the bottom left until you've got something like that. And then tap the magic wand tool when you're done. We go to our arrow tool. We can zoom in a little bit here, and then we can go to distort, and then we can just adjust the shape, make it a bit narrower, closer to our character, and then move it along until you've got something like that. I just want to go in and adjust the shape of this light section of our dune. So we're going to go to our layers, and in that top group, we're just going to go to this here, this layer here, layer 2. We're going to go to our magic wand tool. We're going to choose liquefy, and then we're just going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to make this around 75%, and then just drag up that bottom edge just to kind of make some room along the bottom here of our illustration. And then we can make it a little bit smaller, and then bring this side down like that. And then hit the magic wand tool when you are done. And now our illustration is complete. I hope you had fun with this. Thank you so much for following until the end. I would love to see your finished artwork over on Instagram. So please come and tag me in over there. I'll leave the link to my IG account in the description below. And until next time, stay safe. See you soon.